What's up, Patriots? It's August 10th. This is 00 Jericho reporting for duty. Documenting the demise of the Democrat Party and the defeat of the Republicans. MAGA's future is looking bright. We'll start with a video and wait for some people to come on in here.
Trying to do a coup. They came after me, spying on my campaign. World can finally see these criminals and the corruption of the deep state. Obama and his friends created a planet called the Crossfire Hurricane. Weaponized our government against the President of the United States.
Hey, Trina. Oh, okay. Oh, really? Alright. Here at the park, we got some people hanging out here. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. Hello, Trina, and crime in America. Wow, ain't that the truth? Good name there. What's up, Sean and Cora Shooter? Good to see you all here. Another week just went by. We got victories left and right. And we'll flip it around so we can talk. I just did a little stream. I showed up with on Jamie's stream with her earlier today. We had a good talk about stuff, but I'd just like to wrap it all up with the rest of my notes from the week here because there is a lot going on, man. The first thing I'm noticing in our talk with Jamie, it was like, what are you doing now? Well, right now I'm trying to figure out if the current representative that we have in Congress right now is for MAGA. And you know what? He doesn't have anything MAGA about this guy, man. The whole time J6 was happening, I was calling him saying, you know, what's going on in DC? Can you impeach these judges? These J6ers are getting railroaded. And he's always like hit back with me with a cookie cutter press release where he says, violent people should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. You know, he's never come out and said, thank God Trump pardoned all them guys or anything. So I'm not getting the MAGA pulse out of this guy. So I'm gonna put the screws to him. I've been gonna make the calls again and ask him, are you MAGA or not? Are you on board with America First or not? Because right now the commander in chief is MAGA. And right now, we need a Congress that's MAGA also, so that we can cement all this stuff into law here in this country. Get rid of all of the laws that have been previously passed that go against all that stuff. So find out, before we get into this midterm election in 2026, try to feel out if your representatives, if they're Republican, forget it if they're Democrat. If they're Democrat, they're totally anti-American. They are voting against everything. The Democrats are voting for things like letting illegals vote. You know, I mean, that's how disconnected they are from we the people in this country and from what is necessary for a prosperous, secure country that upholds justice and the truth. So try to get a MAGA pulse off of your representatives and figure out if you want to vote for this clown again, because we're getting down to the deadline where if he's not MAGA, we need a dude in the pipeline or a woman in the pipeline to vote for coming up. And then now you get into this GOP hierarchy and politics. You join the club and I don't know. I just don't play that game. I don't go have dinners with people and discuss strategies and stuff with them, because their strategy stinks, man. It's horrible. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you for the compliment on the purple shirt. Purple's a big color here in Amish country. And another thing you can ask your rep about is, are you on board with the Russia hoax thing? The information that the head of the CIA and the Department of Homeland Security has just come out and said Barack Obama, James Clapper, all these clowns are involved with creating the Russia hoax. And right now, the newspaper's not reporting it, just like all the J6 stuff. The newspaper didn't report all the J6 stuff. So if your senator or Republican or House of Representatives person is one of them people that, if it's not in the mainstream news, they're oblivious to it, find out now. Are you in favor of prosecuting or at least investigating the information that Tulsi Gabbard and John Ratcliffe at the CIA are releasing right now involving the Russia hoax? And that will pretty much give you, if they say yes to that, that's a MAGA pulse. You know, they got a heartbeat for MAGA, right? But just find out, because a lot of these Republicans are just clowns, man. They're just clowns. And I think we got a lot of them in Congress right now. And that's obvious because Congress is on vacation right now. If they cared about this country now, they would skip their month-long vacation this year and get this coup that's still in power in our government, still entrenched in our government. They would skip their vacation and work on getting rid of it, man. So now's a good time to start thinking about that. And if we don't have a MAGA representative, it's time to start looking, you know. And hello, all you clown trolls. You are so pathetic. You are stalking us. Go away. Start your own channel. We're not here for your entertainment, man. I mean, just cut it out. Cut it out. It's ridiculous. You guys are reliving things that happened a year, 2, 3 years ago. You are pathetic. There are things going on today that we are all focused on. One of the issues going on right now is Democrat state representatives in Texas have left the state so that they cannot have a functioning House of Representatives going on in there, because you have to have something called a quorum. A quorum is an appropriate percentage of Republicans and Democrats sitting down, negotiating laws so that you have somewhat of a fair group of representatives there. It can't be like all the Republicans will meet together at night and then pass a law without the Democrats showing up. So that it has to have a quorum of representatives there. And the reason they left is so they don't have a quorum, you know. So all of a sudden, quorums are important to the Democrats. I mean, a huge thing. They think that by taking away the quorum in the Texas House of Representatives that they can stop government. Well, if you all remember, the J6 committee, that was the scripted primetime television show put on by Liz Cheney and her group of people, was not a proper quorum. That's the reason that whole thing was a sham from day one. Nobody called it out, though, but they let it operate as if it was some type of a real investigation going on. And mainstream media just jumped in, chimed in, and supported it, and made it acted as if this was real. There was no quorum in the justice, in the committee that was investigating J6. So, I mean, there's a lot of that going on. They don't care about quorums. Now they do care about quorums. Whatever it is to serve their purpose, the Democrats, if you got a Democrat representative, forget about it. Don't even call them. They're doomed to their own destruction right now because they're going down. They got nothing. They're walking out on their jobs thinking this is a huge protest or something. So apparently there's still 13 of them that haven't come home. The Republicans did some shady stuff where they said, oh, and now you're not going to have your paychecks electronically deposited for you, for the Texas representative. Now you have to come to the Capitol to pick up your paycheck. And, whatever. So the Republicans wasted their time on that, and I don't know. What's up with Texas, man? Texas ain't as, hardcore cowboy patriot as we think, man. If this stuff is going on in Texas, you'd think the people down there would have a clamp down on this kind of stuff, man. But that's what we're here to do, right? Right, man. We're here to call them out, Linda. Call them people out. Yeah, Trump is going gloves off. It's not. He's just put a tweet out the other day that said no more Mr. Nice Guy. About time. I wish he was no more Mr. Nice Guy the first time he was elected in there. But oh well. I think Trump's learning lessons too, man. Right? He's 79 years old. We can all learn every day of our lives. Every day is training for tomorrow, and there's always something new to learn. And I'm sure Trump is learning still. Yeah, I don't know. Beer and backwards. I don't know what's up with Abbott, Sometimes he's kind of a rhino. But anyways, if they're going to vote for Trump's stuff, I say stay united. That's right, Jamie. We got to stay united. Pick our fights. But we gotta identify and remove the people that are not working in conjunction with America First policies and make America great again, man. Okay, Dan Bongino, the deputy attorney, grand poobah of the FBI, put a tweet out. They are making arrests, man. In June, they started a thing called Operation Summer Heat. And this was to get real criminals off the streets. This was to take human traffickers off the streets, to take drug dealers off the streets. And since June, they have arrested 3,329 people. So that's like June, July, August, 3 months. That's like 5 people a day. That's a pretty good rate. 770 of those have actually been indicted. So that means there was a grand jury set up. We're learning the process, okay? Everybody's learning the process. A grand jury needs to sit down and figure out if charges should be brought. The prosecutor brings forward his evidence. A grand jury, in secret, listens to that evidence. A grand jury of we the people. And then they determine, yes, press charges against this person. So while they're in custody, they give them the charges, and now they got to stand trial. And 123 kilograms of fentanyl has been taken off the streets by the FBI. And that's just the FBI. So the Coast Guard is also doing that. Pam Bondi is also doing that. So a lot of fentanyl. I think the fentanyl's pretty much shut down on the stuff that's being imported into this country. I hope. Once again, Democrats did nothing to stop fentanyl from getting into this country for 4 years under Joe Biden. They could have voted to shut down the border, and that's where it was all coming in. But all the Democrats have decided not to do that. So that was when they were in power. So don't even bother calling your Democrat person. They'll probably report you and make up a lie about you to try to get you arrested or something. That's the type of people that they are, man. I would stay well away from Democrats at this point. They lie, they make stories up, they try to get you in trouble. They claim they're for anarchy, but they actually use the police to get at you. Totally despicable human beings, man. Anti-humanistic. Finally, we got Judge Boseberg, the famous judge from the J6 trials. A couple of people are proposing to put him through an impeachment trial. Wow, check this dude out, man. Oh, man. Got some guy with a parachute on running down the hill here, but he didn't quite get off the ground. If he does it again, I'll flip the camera around and show you guys, man. Right on, Trina. Thanks for that link. Bill Blaster. That gives you instant access to your representative, but it only works on iPhone only, right? Is that still true? Only iPhone? But if you got an iPhone, it's a great tool to have to get in touch with your representatives. And Judge Boseberg also tried to shut down a couple of Trump's determinations, his executive orders and his proclamations that he wanted to put the country towards. And Boseberg was one of them guys that put injunctions on Trump's decisions, you know. We get Trump and we get Senate and the House representatives to all agree on something. They all sign off and vote on it, vote yes, and then we get one clown judge somewhere that thinks they can shut that down. That is not how the system works, man. The system works by the Senate and the House and the President make a bill, and then if you don't like it, you try to file a lawsuit to stop it, okay? That doesn't work with a judge just stepping in ahead of all lawsuits. Oh, somebody might file a lawsuit, so I'm going to shut it down now. When did this start? When did this start? I don't get it. I don't remember it operating that way, man. All right, you're going on a cruise. That sounds great, Red Rover. Watch out for all the wind towers out there. Don't hit a wind tower. Everybody's learning about everything right now, okay? With Trump just talking about everything. With his True Social, he's not censored. He can get his message out. Remember last time he was president, they actually censored the freaking president? Well, now they can't do that because he's got his own media company. It started when the Dems lost the elections, right, Trina? That's when it started, man. So that's why our Republican clowns, they should be standing up and just saying, no, this doesn't function this way. But they're not. We're all learning about what a census is now. We're finding out the correlation to this census that we take every 10 years. If you didn't know, I mean, I knew some stuff about the census. I didn't know everything about the census. But that determines how many representatives you get in Congress, okay? And the last census did not have a question on it to determine if you were here legally or not. So that all it did was count bodies. And if we're into just counting bodies, you know, what are the rules for our census? So now Trump is saying, and Marjorie Taylor Greene is saying about the Make American Elections Great Again Act. step one is a new census. And it would be awesome if we got this done before the 2026 election. But people are saying that's a little bit ambitious to think that we could get together, put a census together, take it and analyze it before that election is dang near impossible, because things do take time. But and then the gerrymandering thing that's going on, that's everybody's talking about that. Not the mainstream media, but patriots who stopped following mainstream and we're getting our news at other places. This is all the topics that we're talking about now, because we're all learning about how our government works. The census also has to do with allocation of monies too. When the government makes a rule like, all right, we're going to fund, like Stacey Abrams got $2 billion to give everybody more efficient stoves and clothes dryers and washing machines, right? So that would mean she would have to divvy that money up according to the populations of the state. California would get more because they got more people, right, than Connecticut or whatever. So the census is, if they're not done properly, if they count people that are not American citizens, can be used to rig elections and the allocation of government monies out there. Okay, we had a 3-year anniversary this week of the raid on Lago. Okay, so there's been some talk again about how wrong that was, how unprecedented that was. Luckily, they did set a precedent for that, for investigating a president, because we're going to go right down that road now that they set the precedent, and have Obama investigated also, and perhaps even have his home raided or something. I just heard his house got swatted last night in D.C. Obama's house in D.C. got swatted. But 3 years ago, Merrick Garland gave the FBI permission to use deadly force on a raid at the ex-president's house in Mar-a-Lago. And actually, what we're finding out they were trying to find was evidence that Trump had about Barack Obama and Clapper and Comey and Brennan from vacant. And that's actually what they were looking for, is what we're going to find out, which makes this collusion, this conspiracy, this group of people conspiring to demise of this country, is what we're going to find out over the next couple of years. And this is going to take a couple of years till it all plays out. But yeah, Merrick Garland authorized the use of deadly force against an ex-president on a search warrant. I just find that so ironic and rich with hypocrisy. Okay, we got some all-stars that are coming up in the ranks here. Ed Martin is the assigned special prosecutor in a new prosecution of Letitia James and Adam Schiff for mortgage fraud allegations. The exact same thing that Letitia James framed up on Trump with 34 counts. And then the judge said, you don't even have to find him guilty on any of the counts, but if you think he's guilty, just write guilty on one of them and we'll throw him in jail for you. What a sham that was, patriots. If we survive through this, it's going to be pretty amazing, because they just ran our justice system through the ringer and corrupted everything about it. What the prosecutors can do, what the judges can do, what the lawyers can do, everything, man. So now we got Ed Martin on that deal. I was wondering where Ed Martin was going to land, man. We're going to need a lot of these assigned special prosecutors, and there's still a couple in the wings, you know. But at the same time, they're still trying to weed out the coup conspirators from the DOJ and the FBI. These people are not gone yet. We got rid of a lot of them, but they're showing up, man. They're rearing their ugly heads, and we're taking them out one by one till we get them all out of there, man. Same with RFK at the HHS, man. The whole bureaucracy was embedded with Trump haters, with Trump derangement syndrome sufferers, man. And RFK, in the last 2 weeks, he's banned mercury from vaccines. He has now officially banned the mRNA vaccines, all of them. There was like, I don't know, 13 or 17 of them or something like that. Gone. He took them out. He says no more. They were not good science. And he just made a press release where he's saying things that we knew for years, was that doctors were paid to vaccinate people, okay? The more people they got vaccinated, they got a big Christmas bonus at the end of every year from the pharmaceutical companies. And if they could vaccinate 100% of the children in their pediatric practice, they got a bigger paycheck, bonus check, than if they only vaccinated 70% of the children there. So that's just crazy, man. So that's basically, like bribing people to sell your product, man. The more you sell for us, the more we'll pay you, So I don't see that that's a fair practice in a medical profession. Doctors set their rates, they make what they make, and then they go for these bonuses by just ignoring science and signing people up for vaccination, especially of their children, which is despicable, man. In other news, Donald Trump issued a statement saying that the Department of Defense can use military force against the drug cartels, man. So when I say drug cartel, you think Mexico, right? But it ain't just Mexico. Turns out Venezuelan President Maduro is the #1 trafficker of a cartel in America, North and South America. So it isn't just Mexico. There's these cartels are all throughout Central, South America. President Maduro of Venezuela is one of the biggest ones of them, and Trump has just gave permission to use military force against drug cartels. So we'll see how that pans out. These are all wins, man. These are all advances in the battle to take our country back, to make it great again, and to promote America First policies and the prosperity of every American on the planet, man. You didn't get off the ground, dude.
No, I didn't.
I think you need a little breeze or something.
Yeah, I do. I want to get off the ground. But
You're going to try again?
no, I'm going to pack it up. It's getting too dark.
You could probably use a bigger hill, too.
Yeah, and I'm not necessarily trying to get off the ground. I'm just trying to learn how it acts.
Right on, dude. That's going to be really cool when you figure it all out.
Yeah. There are motors showing up sometime in the near future.
Yeah?
Stuck in customs right now. So.
Right on, man. Good luck to you, dude.
Hey, thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, I haven't heard about that, Sal. What's up, Jay Jones? Hello. How you, Sunkissed? Colorado. Good to see you all. All right, we got a good crew in here. Let's see. Stu, how you doing, Ann? Linda Davenport. All right, we got a good crew, man. I love you guys. So, yeah, Department of Defense using military force on the drug cartels. We'll see what happens with that. I don't think that's going to turn into World War III, but that is going to be one of these strike force things where they're going in, they're decimating people, rescuing human trafficked people, taking it out, but it's another thing just to be talking about. Why are these drug cartels prospering in Latin America and Mexico and Central America? Is it because their governments suck so bad that they can't eliminate them? Is it because the government isn't taking care of the people? Because actually these drug cartels, they operate like a mini government in regions, you know. They're taking care of the people that work for them. They make sure that if somebody gets sick that works for them, that they get to see a doctor. Call it what it is, but actually these cartels are mini governments. But it doesn't have to be that, because if you turn into a useless person for the cartel, they take you down outside the village and they shoot you. They get rid of you because you're a drain on the cartel, you know. But at least we're all talking about this stuff now. Nobody ever talked about why the cartels are succeeding or why they're allowed to exist even, why the governments don't fight against them. Why does Mexico just let them have the border of the northern border of Mexico? Because the government of Mexico doesn't have the resources to fight against the 5 cartels that are running the whole border thing, man. Yeah, they pay off the government officials, probably. Yeah, Jay, that's right. What else we got here? Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton declares 13 House seats vacant. All right, so I don't know what the repercussions of that is going to be, if they automatically start new elections with that, or if they're going to come running home and go, wait, I'm here, it's not vacant. You know, we'll have to see. But these are all moves that the Texas people got to start doing. You know, they got to look like they got a spine, like they got a backbone, like they're going to be tough about people that are not performing to the people who voted them in. You know, you voted for somebody. If they walk off the job, what a clown. You'll never vote for that person again unless you wanted them to interrupt the government in your state, you know. How you, Tammy Monday and Party Bonza? Good to see you all. And we got numerous. All right, so this FBI CIA thing is huge, man. And the mainstream media just is totally ignoring it, including Fox. And it isn't just Tulsi Gabbard and John Ratcliffe releasing information that's been on file there forever for the whole Biden administration. It was ignored for that whole period of time. But we also have 20 whistleblowers have come forward now. So it isn't just 1 or 2 whistleblowers. There's 20 of them now. I think the investigations that the FBI and DOJ are doing right now is producing more of these whistleblowers. And I'm pretty sure that they're wheeling and dealing on you know, prosecutions and deals, and they want to have informants. So let's pray for them. Let's give them more power. Because right, somebody said it earlier in the chat. Prayer is our power. That is for sure, man. So it's pretty much the news. Got some memes. We will get to them. Here's Obama's beautiful new library. What a disaster this thing is, man. Look at it. Look how far architecture has come now. This is a brand new, supposed to be architecturally cool building. And it looks horrible. It looks like a half-built cement garbage incinerator or something, man. Yeah, Jay Jones, we're drying up their money. That was another hit they had to take. And we're finding out how far that money that USAID was giving them is gone, man. All these TV shows were getting financed through that money. But yeah, look at this eyesore in Chicago. Benny Johnson did a short about it. It's built in the hood. It's downright ugly. I don't know how much this thing costs. I don't know if you and I are paying for this. I hope not. Right, Tammy Monday. This is so deep we have no idea. Brandon goes all the way back to 9/11. Absolutely, man. And so does a lot of them. I think Comey goes back to 9/11, doesn't he? A lot of them go back to 9/11. And 9/11, we've been fed a boatload of lies on that, man. Is there one Democrat city that is not a shithole? It seems like they're all like that. J6 will go down in history as the day the government staged a riot to cover up the fact that they certified a fraudulent election. And that is the truth we have lived with through all this satanic persecutions that we've endured for the last 4 years. The imposter in a White House for 4 years. Who would have thought that was even possible? Yeah, Debvi, maybe that is a missile silo they're actually building there in Chicago for Obama's library. And here we have it. It's the voice of reason or the voice of treason. So there's a lot of people pontificating about whether or not Obama can get charged with treason because he was the ex-president, blah, blah, blah. Which to me just seems, I don't even want to spend 5 minutes listening to that argument yet because we're not there yet. It's like talking about who's going to run for president in 2028. We're not there yet, you know. A lot can change. If you had a mail-in vote right now and you could vote for the president in 2028, would you do it? I would say don't do it because something could change between now and then that would make you want to change your vote. So we wait until voting day to decide who we're going to vote for. We look at their track record up to that day, and then we decide if it's the person who deserves the job, and we vote them in there. The way Trump continues to be unfairly treated by the sore loser Democrats and the media only makes me support him more. Hey, Julius was just watching the hypocrite Pritzker, Governor Pritzker of Illinois, on some MAGA channels. Are you serious? See, they're all bucking for the presidency right now. Pritzker wants to be president. Newsom wants to be president. They all want to be president because they got no leader right now. And it is odd how the worse they treat Trump, the more support he gets. So it's obviously working. The Democrats' dream right now is to be telling all the Republicans, oh, you guys are going to win so easy. It's hands down, you got it. That's what the Democrats want us to believe. But we have to get out and vote. It all comes down to vote. Yeah, Julius, Pritzker was asked directly why he did gerrymandering, but he deflected. I saw that too. And why they like him as a billionaire. Pritzker is a billionaire. So yeah, the gerrymandering. Here, I think I got something on that. Here's a gerrymandered map. The GOP is gerrymandering our gerrymandering. And if you can see what they do, I mean, just imagine all the blue spaces is all the highways, all the roadways that is in this area, right? And what happens along all those areas? They get developed, right? All the light-colored areas are the farmers, the hard-working people, the guys with shops and stuff are out in that yellow area, and they get cut right out of the freaking voting map, man. That's no way to determine what the people of an area want. That is totally not cool. So I don't know what the answer is. Say no gerrymandering or what. I don't know. But we're all talking about it. Here's what they've given us so far. The Federal Reserve was established in 1913. From 1913 till today, the dollar has lost 98% of its purchasing power. Think about that. $1 in 1913 is equivalent to $32 in 2025. If that's not sabotage, then I don't know what is. That's debt slavery, that's evil, and the Fed. All right, we're all talking about the Fed now. Everybody's figuring out what the Federal Reserve does, who they are, how they got into power. It was all very shady. 1912, the Titanic sunk with 3 people who opposed the establishment of a Federal Reserve. So they killed them. They sank a boat to kill off 3 people. And then they all got together like on Christmas vacation down in Georgia at Jekyll Island. There's a book all about it. So it's right in the book. It's common knowledge if you read the book. Unfortunately, lots of people have not read the book and they didn't get the memo. These are all the House Oversight Committee is compelling the following individuals to appear for depositions through issued subpoenas. Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Merrick Garland, James Comey, William Barr, Alberto Gonzalez, Jeff Sessions, Robert Mueller, Loretta Lynch, Eric Holder, and there's more. The list was so long I couldn't get it all in one shot. If that's not a who's who of the coup, I don't know what is. Trump and his cabinet is the counter coup, but it is not bunkered into the government yet. But they are bunkered in, and they are fighting a good fight, man. Yeah, I can't wait for that press conference, McFly. 10 a.m. tomorrow, is that when it's being established? Trump, I think, is going to federalize Washington, D.C. Hopefully we can all kiss Muriel Bowser's goodbye. Yeah, I'll be up bright and early, glued to the screen for that one, for sure, man. Right Side Broadcasting is where I watch all the Trump stuff. They broadcast all of them. Everything Trump does, all the White House press conferences. And we now have seen their method of operation it's been very efficiently taking over this country for so long. And when there's a big story on the media, look for the story they're trying to distract you from. Right now, what they're trying to distract us with is the Epstein thing. And because all the media is reporting on that, man. And the uptick in violence, man. There has been numerous shootings going on all over the country right now. And every day there's 2, 3, 4 more of them, and that's definitely an uptick. That is definitely their method of operation. And that's what's going on right now. This is one of my favorite memes. I put it up before, but Julian Assange said, when all is exposed, 98% of Washington will fall. And I can't wait. I can't wait. I cannot wait, man. Muriel Bowser is standing with Trump this time around. That's interesting, McFly. That's interesting. I did see a press conference Trump did where Muriel Bowser was in the room. They did cooperate on something, but I think Trump was funding something that she wanted, so they were acting nice together on the camera. Well, here, Ridgeline, that's what we're doing. We're catching you up. We're just going over what happened over the last week here. And it is hard to keep up. Let's see. Oh, here's a distraction story. Good luck with your future endeavors, Howard Stern. Howard Stern, famous shock jock who I never even sat through. Well, no, I worked with a guy who listened to Howard Stern, and I could not stand it. I hated Howard Stern, even back in the day. I never thought this clown was funny. But apparently Howard Stern doesn't have an audience anymore. Apparently USAID money was probably funding the millions that they paid him to be on the radio. I think he fumbled his career by going to Spotify or wherever he went. He went to some other venue, you know, and he lost his audience. So bye-bye, Howard Stern. Good riddance. I'm not going to spend another second talking about you. Here's what we're finding out about Bill Barr. Bill Barr's wearing swamp-colored glasses, man. I don't see any fraud. We're finding out Bill Barr helped orchestrate at least the fraud that was involved with Fannie down in Georgia. Apparently they were collaborating on that prosecution of Trump. And by the way, that was not actually Howard Stern's picture I put up there. That was just some woke liberal that looks like Howard Stern. And here's flooding your district, state, or county with illegal aliens to count them in the census is election fraud. No doubt about it. Caesar, I don't know what you're getting at with the Barack Obama thing. I don't even know what that means, dude. In the last week, President Trump stopped another war that has been, skirmish that has been going on for 35 years between Armenia and Azerbaijan. And he has the two presidents there, one of each country. They shook hands right in front of him and signed a peace treaty, man. They want to trade with America. This is known as peace through strength. Everybody wants to trade with America. And we have not wielded that power as it should have been wielded forever. And that is the beauty of Trump's genius, that he can say that he can wield that power and make it work for we the people. There's a great painting of Trump in front of the press. clown press, man. Yeah, McFly, I'm seeing that too. It looks like we all watch kind of the same people. There's the same core group, and then everybody's got their other people that they keep finding. Because new ones keep popping up, man. I just thought that was a great painting. All right, and if you don't know what Operation Mockingbird is, you should find out real quick. I'm sure we all know what it is. But it was an investigation from back in the 60s or 70s, I believe. That was proving that the CIA was paying off press people. To lie to people, to create propaganda so that they could get things done the wrong way in this country. Operation Mockingbird was a fully implemented CIA program to spread disinformation throughout American media. CIA Director William Colby testified to the Church Committee that over 400 CIA agents were active in the U.S. media to control what was reported through American mainstream television, newspapers, and magazines. That was from... I don't even know what year it was. It must have been 60s or 70s, man. And it's atrocious. If that was going on, we were all lazy back then, though. That should have been a hair on fire moment for us. And if it wasn't then, it is now. All right, we got Alligator Alcatraz. Look at these clowns, man. Liberalism is a mental disorder. You can't make this up. Boomer Democrats in Gainesville, Florida, locked themselves in a cage to protest Alligator Alcatraz. Man, look at these clowns, man. Let's see if we can zoom in on these people. No, that's it. They're like drama students from middle school, you know? I got a good idea. Let's put a cage up and we'll all stand in it, and then you three, you stay outside like you're the guards and put black clothes on and make it look like you're beating us. Look at this clown in the middle down. He's on his knees with his hands in the fence. Oh yeah, Liberty Hangout's good with Caitlin. There's that. She's good. Yeah, Caitlin is good with Liberty Hangout. But these people, they're like from middle school or something. Middle school drama students. There's something we got going on in Pennsylvania. That's a little problem. We got a petition. Jack Boseberg is calling for a petition, calling for Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro to investigate how a convicted pedophile was able to purchase a baby through surrogacy, has reached over 10,000 signatures. There should be 1 million signatures on this right now. Somehow or another, a sex offender, a tier 1 sex offender, was able to adopt a baby with his partner. And I don't know how that flies, man. I don't know how that's not illegal already. Tier 1 sex offender is the lowest level of sex offender here in Pennsylvania. But it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. All right, Julius is reporting a federal judge ruled that Alligator Alcatraz is inhumane and unsanitary. Ooh. So they stopped new construction until a hearing, but may keep running, so that right there says they failed. I would have to agree on that. Thanks for contributing, Julius. My president called Nancy Pelosi a disgusting, degenerate, inside trader. I definitely voted for this, man. I definitely voted for this. So that's out in the open now. That's not a conspiracy theory. Everyone's talking about that because our president has not been censored, and he is putting out the information, man. He's just started up another battlefront. So Trump is definitely doing something called flooding the zone. Wow. Trump is flooding the zone. Here's one of my favorite rockers, Ted Nugent. This is off of his site. Property tax. When did owning a home mean renting it from the government? We have been taxed to oblivion, you know. So let's just say in 10 or 20 years, you know, we get the elections back, we get order restored in our government, we start prosecuting all the criminals that don't get prosecuted now. We start investing in America first and make America great again. We're going to have all the problems solved, where it's going to be nothing but maintenance to keep the streets of gold paved and the schools open, man. Where the costs are going to go way down after we're done rebuilding this country after what they've done to it, because we have been looted. We have been totally looted. Trump gets more done when Congress and senators are on vacation. He sure does, McFly. He sure does. I mean, Congress has kind of helped him by passing the big, beautiful bill. That kind of needed to get done just to prove that he had some power. But they really are leaving him hanging, man. This isn't even the beginning of the beginning. From Dan, another post from Dan Bongino. Kash Patel says 200 days of the Trump administration from January 20 to the present. FBI has arrested over 1,600 people for violent crimes against children, to include 270 arrests for human trafficking. So this should be on every news channel every night, but it isn't. And that's the mainstream media for you. Yeah, we got this guy. This is a post from Peter Navaro. Walter Gardena ran my circus arrest at Reagan National Airport, slapped me in leg irons, lied to a grand jury, and put me in prison, and tried to jail Trump in the Russia hoax. I got prison, he got fired. Time to investigate his weaponized ass. So right now, we're getting this guy who just retired, I believe, from the FBI, Walter Gardena. We're going to find out what went on there. Why was he made to put out that arrest on Peter Navarro? Then he lied to a grand jury about it. Two genders, one flag, zero apologies. America is back. Oh, Susie Daw, that would have been cool to see Ted back then. I was definitely into Steady Ted. More power to him, McFly. Ron DeSantis wants to get rid of property taxes. More power to him. Indiana lessened property taxes, but the Dem mayors raised it in their towns to counter it. Oh my goodness. They hate us. They hate us. Right on. Jay Jones was 20 feet from Ted at the border convoy. I saw that. We had streamers on the ground bringing it into my house, into my living room, man. I think Mama Mick, or Soup Mama and Glory B had it streaming. I think Sherry had it streaming too. That was cool. Ted Nugent invests his time, invests his money in this country. He loves this country. They arrested a former U.S. president 4 times, but now they don't want to arrest criminals and illegal aliens. This is the craziness that we live with every day. We have to try to make sense of this, and it's impossible. The strongest weapon in the United States is a patriotic American. I would add one word to that and say a praying patriotic American is the strongest weapon in the United States. And Ted Nugent, he's one of them Americans. I don't know where Ted stands on Jesus. I don't think I've ever seen him come right out and tell me he believes in Jesus, though. Any of you guys ever see him say something like that? Has Ted Nugent ever witnessed for Christ? Three months before Biden left office, Biden's energy secretary, Granholm, transferred $93 billion after Trump was elected. And that was all handed out in grants from the Department of Energy. The new head of the Department of Energy brought that to our attention about a month or two ago. All right, Linda, his father was a preacher. That's good to know. That's good to know. Because I do think Ted is an awesome patriot. He puts his money where his mouth is. He stands for America. He goes out and speaks at events like the convoy to the border and other events too. He's very big on scientific-backed environmentalism, the benefits of hunting and culling the herd and keeping the animals healthy. He doesn't like monoculture farming. He's very informed on a lot of topics, and he is, I think, a very good American, a very good American. I can't remember if I put this one up or not. RFK Jr. says doctors are being paid to vaccinate. We've recently uncovered that more than 36,000 doctors had their Medicare reimbursements altered based upon childhood vaccination rates. That is not medicine, that is coercion. So I would say that differs from capitalism, okay? When what you're selling is killing people, that's not just the basic capitalism problem going on there, man. How you, Carrie, D. McLean, and Small Water Guy? Welcome to the show. I think we're just wrapping up here. We're just trying to save the planet by deleting the elite. We got to take care of our smart people, like Trump says, but we don't need the elite telling us what to do and trying to decimate our populations here. Here's Trump's statement on the census. I have instructed our Department of Commerce to immediately begin work on a new and highly accurate census based on modern day facts and figures, and importantly, using the results and information gained from the presidential election of 2024. People who are in our country illegally will not be counted in the census. Thank you for your attention to this matter. It's nice when we have a president who isn't censored, isn't it? Here's a flashback. Dear Plexiglass, thank you for protecting me from the cashier who just touched every single item I'll be taking home with me. Remember, Patriots, remember, this period in history will be known as the Dumb Ages. It really sucked for people who saw what was going on. I'll tell you what, man. That was some crazy stuff. I made the best of it. I just went on vacation for 6 months. Luckily, I was able to do that. And I just went to a place in the country that wasn't so retarded, West Virginia. There were only a couple of little urban areas in West Virginia that the retardation was huge with the COVID stuff, man. The dark, dumb ages. And D. McLean, man, you're in the chats all the time, man. I hope to meet you one day, bud. That's some amazing work you're doing with the relief of people that went through the floods and stuff, man. That is just some spectacular work you're doing, D. McLean, with Suit Mama and the Patriots, trying to bring relief to these people that their lives have been uprooted. There, now you're safe. We got you in a cell with a mask on in front of a tube with security cameras. And a guy with a lab coat looking over you, right? Freedom is scary, Patriots. Freedom isn't free, and freedom isn't easy to hold. Freedom isn't easy. Other information that has come up again in this week was the Benghazi fiasco. That's been getting some airtime. Hillary Clinton apparently sold some missiles to some people she wasn't supposed to sell missiles to. And those missiles got used in some places they shouldn't have been used. And Hillary was trying to get them back. And that's why 4 of our patriots at the embassy there got murdered, brutally murdered. We won't forget. We won't forget. Wow, D. McLean, 39 trips down there. That is so awesome, dude. Doing what we can. Amen, brother. Amen. A meme is 1,000 words, Patriot. Some of them are great, like this one. 3 entire years of COVID vaccine propaganda, and we just dodged it. Oh no, Susie Dawes says Jelaine tried to kill herself. Agents have gone in. Uh-oh, what's going on there? Right before I started this live stream up, I heard, all right, so Ghislaine Maxwell has talked to an attorney from the DOJ for 2 days, and then they moved her to a low security prison in Texas. And I just heard right before I started this live stream up that they had to send BOP terrorism task force there to secure the outside of that prison that she is now in, that Ghislaine Maxwell is now in. She's been getting death threats. She was in a low security prison in Florida too. Okay, I didn't know that, Julius. Thank you. Well, hopefully she talked. And hopefully they're going to be keeping her safe so she can testify. This is a Q post. It remains to be seen with Q. A lot what they've been talking about since 2017 or whatever, whenever that started, has been coming true. We'll see. Military is the only way. Yeah, J. Jones, no doubt about it. Ghislaine's got dirt on the Clintons. I think she's got dirt on a lot of people. But what is that dirt, you know? Well, exactly, what is that dirt? The Clintons could have been using her and Epstein to gather information, blackmail people. And then here's one reason why Trump got on the bandwagon to refederalize D.C. A few days ago, a gang of about a dozen young men tried to assault a woman in her car at night in D.C. A Doge team member, who we've now found out was Big Balls, saw what was happening, ran to defend her, and was severely beaten to the point of concussion. But he saved her. And here's Elon agreeing with President Trump. If you think there's a rift between Trump and Elon, I'd say you're mistaken. Elon is definitely still on board. I can't explain some of his moves sometimes, but Elon loves this country and he wants it to succeed, man. And here's a picture of Big Balls after he got beat up. So I don't know. Thank God that guy stepped in. That woman is now safe. He took a beating for it, but it was the right thing to do, man. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, I guess. All right, Mike Davis, he is a highly respected lawyer, says there is no statute of limitations on conspiracies. The conspiracy continues to this day, and that means it's still being performed, so there is no statute of limitations on that stuff. Here's our MAGA team of women. What a fantastic group of ladies. God bless them. We pray for their protection. strength. And that's not even all of them. And once, a long time ago, there was a representative named Ron Paul, and he said it is no coincidence that the century of total war coincided with the century of central banking. This is why we have war. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple. For those that don't know, Ron Paul is Rand Paul's father, and he served in Congress before. He has since retired. Let's see, I got one more tidbit of information I'd like to share with you about Breitbart, Andrew Breitbart. For those who don't know, he started a great news agency, was reporting on news like crazy. Then Andrew Breitbart supposedly died of natural causes by collapsing on March 1st, 2012, after threatening to release videos on Barack Obama because Obama was never properly vetted in the 2008 election. He stated that the videos will greatly affect the 2012 election and I will release them just before November. A couple of weeks later, the coroner who worked on his body mysteriously died by poisoning. There's a lot to uncover, Patriots, and a lot of good people got taken out. I saw Ron Paul in D.C. He gave a speech where he spoke and Tulsi Gabbard spoke. This was all before the election last summer. It was pretty cool. Out by the Lincoln Memorial. Ron just turned 90. Woo! Some people, you know, they got a sharp mind till very late in life. And here's just some great artwork. Don't be the bird. God got us out of the cage, Patriots, all right? We are saved. We got the redeeming blood of Christ on our sins, on our lives. Learn about your Savior. Read about him. Try to find out how he operates. Because he's not a God of chaos. He is a God of order. He is keeping things going on here out of a blessing. He continues to prosper us out of blessing us. And then we have the chance to honor him and glorify him by continuing to fight and stand up and look to him for guidance every single day. He is always with us. Yeah, Red Rover, it's really dark. If I turn the camera back on me, it's going to be totally dark. So I don't think I'll do that. We're just going to sign out here, Patriots. Thank you for joining me on this endeavor. It's hard keeping up on everything, and this is how I'm jumping in to try to do that for people. If you haven't had a chance to stay nose down in the news all month, I just try to put it together for a week at a time here. And I didn't even cover everything, but there is a lot going on. But what we just covered here is huge. This stuff wasn't going on when Biden was in office, or or Obama or Bush, those guys would disappear for months. We wouldn't hear a word from them. They weren't talking to the American people. They were just making us all detached from caring about our government and our country. Oh, thank you for joining us, Cindy W. Thank you for that compliment. Thank you. You guys are awesome. We'll get together in a couple days as more things happen. Stay tuned in. Find out what Trump does in D.C. tomorrow, because I think if he federalizes D.C. again, this was a move that we were begging our senators and Congress people to do. They've had the power to do this for a long time, and they didn't. And when they were using that court down there to put all them J6ers in prison, we were screaming like it's their job to run D.C. and the people they put there to run D.C. were doing this to us. So we wanted them to act on something, and they did nothing. They did nothing. So that's why we got to stay plugged in. That's why we can't not care anymore. So God bless you all, Patriots. It's been a wonderful evening hanging out with you. I love you all. This is Jericho, over and out.